actually do it. The line's going to close at about 4:45, I should say, which is less than an hour's time. And if you text after that time, it'll be sort of entered in kind of thing, but it won't be included and it won't be done, and you'll still be charged, so don't do it. Full terms and conditions, by the way, are on the website rt.ie/competitions, and you have to be over 18 to enter. So there it is. Which Baltic nation will Ireland play in next month's Euro 2012 playoffs? Is it Estonia or Latvia? Text the word Dave plus your answer to 57111. Now, let me see. What was I going to say? Yeah, Aha, hunting high and low. The sun always shines on TV. Best band of the 80s. Yeah, maybe so. There's loads more besides now. I want to take a look at something else, which is a question, actually. Are you one of those people who considered the idea of a surfing weekend in Ireland, but then you were put off because, I don't know, didn't have the transport, or you had the transport but not the room for the surfboard, or you just didn't want to drive all the way to Bundoran or Lahinch, after a long week of work or whatever? Well, if you are that soldier, I bet you think I'm going to come up with a solution, and I am. Mark, how are you?
Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing well indeed, very good. This is Mark Nixon, and you're the brains behind Surf Bus. What is Surf Bus, Mark Nixon?
Very good, thanks, Dave. Basically, Surf Bus is, I suppose, an idea. It's an idea I've always had, just to get surfers down to Lahinch and up to Bundoran direct from Dublin, So basically, we kicked it off at Sea Sessions Festival. That would have been the first run that we had, so that was pretty busy. We had 3 buses going up to that, and then pretty much during the summer we've just been going into Lahinch. We've had a couple of weekends to Bundoran, but Lahinch has been pretty popular, so we've been running a bus down every weekend. It leaves Westmoreland Street in town at 5:30. You get on a Friday and you get down to Lahinch around 8:30, 9 o'clock, so you can go straight out to the pub, I guess, and relax. And then people get up for a surf the next day, and then we come back on a Sunday. So it's pretty much the whole weekend. You leave straight from work and you go down to Lahinch or Bundoran, and you come back on a Sunday, a bit tired, but at least you don't have to face the drive back, and petrol and toll bridges and all that sort of stuff,
That's like enterprise and every other word I can think of. Fair play to you. Now, I'm going to see, just see how it's going so far, but I presume, is this an ignorant question, but if you wanted to get a bus down to one of these places from Dublin, is a surfboard too big? Is the bus, and get annoyed with your surfboard?
It depends on the board, really, to be honest. You can get some small boards that are about, just beginner boards that'll be 5 foot up to 6 foot. And then
I thought most boards were bigger than anybody, like 8 feet or something.
Yeah, you can get the long boards up to, nearly, 9 foot, so, they can be a bit cumbersome to bring down, and then you're bringing your gear as well, your change of clothes, and if you're bringing wetsuits and all that stuff. So we kind of take care of all that. Literally, people, turn up at 5:30 on Westmoreland Street, and they're in their suits, holding their board, and their bag, and they're ready to go.
Because any surfer I've ever seen in the States who will be going over to surf or something, they've always got a van in the lot.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. We get everything into the coach. We had a run up to the Eurosurf Festival, the Eurosurf competition in Bundoran a couple of weeks ago, and we were taking the Portuguese team up. And we picked them up at Dublin Airport, and they ended up winning the competition. But they took 80 boards with them, 4 each,
Really?
So, yeah, so it was a lot of gear.
So,
but,
let's take a look at this. You're not necessarily aiming this at hardcore surfers, even though hardcore surfers are welcome as well. It's for people who've often thought of doing the whole thing, but thought it was too cumbersome or too difficult, and now they've got a way to do it.
Exactly, yeah. Our real, I suppose, target market as such are beginners, intermediates, people just looking to go down for the crack for the weekend, We get a lot of tourists as well, people coming over from the UK, because in the UK, there's only really, you can go down to Cornwall and that, to do your surfing. But what's funny, we get a lot of people come from Newcastle, Sunderland, along the east coast where they've got the North Sea. So there's obviously no surf there, so they like to come over and either hit Bundoran or else they like to go down to Lahinch. We got people coming over from Scotland as well, Sweden, pretty much any area where there's no surf. And then, of course, a load of people from Ireland. You get people working in, any of the large multinational companies.
Okay, again, you'll have to pardon my ignorance here again, but if you're talking Newcastle, Sunderland, that's on the same coast of England, say, as Dublin is on the same coast of Ireland.
Yeah.
In other words, it's on the east coast. Why don't we, I'm not looking for some big, huge geographical explanation here, but why don't we get it on the east coast and we do get it on the west coast?
It's just simply the swell coming in from the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Of course, there are places along the coast that you can go surfing, along the coast of Dublin. You go down to Brittis Bay. There are areas down there, but for really good swell, you're talking like Tullen Strand up in Bundoran, Rosnella, Strand Hill, Lahinch, of course, Spanish Point. There's lots of places all along the east coast, and they get the best waves, coming in from the Atlantic swell.
All along the west coast, you mean? Okay, now, the people then who would use the service, you say there'd be a lot of, as you might call foreign nationals, people working for all sorts of places in Dublin who want to get out, who said, like, this is just, like, would they get stag weekends and hen weekends?
Yeah, to be honest, well, not really stags. We got a lot of hens, though, for some reason. A lot of girls like going out to the Hinch, so we've had a lot of hens going down. We haven't had a stag yet. But, I mean, kind of the hen parties or anyone else just looking to go down for the crack, like, we do offer discounts for surf bus passengers. Like, I mean, we go down to the Hinch, we talk to all the businesses down there. There's the Hinch Surf Experience who are on the promenade, and a few others, the John McCarthy School, and they all offer discounts for surf bus people, So kind of like, as you say, the hen parties and stuff, they'd be into surfing as well, so they'd actually get out boards and they'd get out on the waves. They won't just spend their whole time drinking.
And which is more popular? Would it be Lahinch or Bundoran?
It's strange. Like, we kind of, when we started out, because we started with sea sessions in Bundoran, and we've had a couple of runs up there, but just simply people have they've just been inquiring more about Lahinch. So of course, we've just got to run down there. But I mean, next year, really, what we want to do is have a bus going every weekend, one to Bundoran, one to Lahinch, and we're working with the surf schools up there, like in Bundoran, the Bundoran Surf Co. and Turf and Surf, and a few others, and we're trying to generate, packages where we can get people up and they can get accommodation, they can get lessons, and all that sort of stuff.
I presume,
we're hoping to hit the two, really.
Okay, and I presume when you say every weekend, you're talking probably a seasonal thing, April to September or October, or is it better in November, December, January?
Yeah, I mean, like, we're aiming, for I suppose the May till September is the peak time. Now, it's not really the peak time in terms of actual waves. The waves are actually really great during the winter as well.
Yeah.
But it's peak time for us because, like, as I say, we got a lot of tourists, so they'd be over during the summer anyway. And people just want to take a break, and it's nice and sunny, and it's grand. It's good going down, during the summer. I mean, we've got a trip coming up now at the end of October. We're heading down to Lahinch. There's loads of stuff going on that weekend. There's a Rock for Autism festival as such. It's a 12-hour rock gig on in the Spinnaker, and wonderful minutes are playing it. But that goes to autism, all the money raised. There's also a fancy dress surfing competition as such on the beach in Lahinch.
All right, hold on a second. This sounds like more than just hopping on the bus. This is a full, proper surfing package, especially for those who might think, I wouldn't mind trying this thing out. Now, does that mean, therefore, they can hire equipment off you when you get down there?
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I mean, the second they get down there, like, we give a lot of information to everyone, so they can go to, either of the surf schools and they can rent their gear. They all get discounts. Like, we always arrange discounts with all the businesses down there.
Let's say you're going from Dublin, because we're coming up towards the news. So you're going from Dublin. How much is the cost return?
It's €40 return.
And what about places to stay? Are there hostels and all that you specifically go to?
I mean, the good thing about Bundoran is there's so much accommodation. There's so many places to stay. You can stay in cottages, you can stay in hostels. In Lahinch, there's a few hostels down there, and there are places to, there are houses to rent, which we get a lot of people renting houses. But there's also places to camp down in Lahinch as well. There's a big campsite down there. So what we do is we actually sell tents on the bus in case someone's completely stuck and forgot to book anything, at least they can just get a tent and they can,
All right, well, look, I'll tell you what, surfbus.ie is where people can find out everything, yeah. Damn, I really wish your name was Charlie, because I could ask you the question from Apocalypse Now and say, do you surf yourself?
I used to, yeah. Well, I mean, not anymore. I kind of surf the web. That's the most surfing that I do these days.
No, that's not what I meant. All right, listen, good man, Mark Nixon, and good luck with it, by the way. I hope it works out well.
You're welcome to come down any weekend with us now, dude,
Oh, for God's sake, me on a surfboard. What about that guy drinking the pint of Guinness? Good luck. Take it easy. All right, good luck. Bye. Take it easy. Thank you very much indeed, Mark.
Online.